Mystery gang? It's Halloween. I know you guys are excited. I hope everybody has a lot of plans, but you guys, I still want y'all to stay safe. Now today I have a very crazy story for you guys, and it's the last story in our little Halloween crazy edition. Now before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. Y'all hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new story. I'm almost to 15K subscribers, y'all. Thank y'all. I'm so happy about this. Let's get into this story. Now you guys, we've been doing videos literally like every other day for Halloween. So today we're going to do the most craziest story I think I've ever done. Now, this story is very gruesome and it's cringy. So if you know you can't handle it, you guys, don't watch it. Today we're going to be talking about the case of Austin Harrouff. Austin Harrouff was born on December 21st, 1996. He was born to Mina Harrouff and Wade Harrouff. Now, they lived in Jupiter, Florida, and growing up, Austin was described as very quiet. Now, he was also described as a gentle giant because once he got to like middle school and high school, he started playing sports. He was on the wrestling team and he was on the football team. Growing up, doing all these sports and stuff, you know, Austin never did drugs. He never did steroids, never did none of these things, and he took a lot of pride in his workouts and in his sports.
Want to let you know that I came to a realization of something. I no longer want to follow Arnold or any other bodybuilder. I want to follow myself, you know? I want to actually believe in myself. I want to learn from other things, other people, other bodybuilders and stuff. But I just know that they're not me, you know? I know what's right for me. I don't need drugs. I know that they can change me. But the thing is, that's not being healthy, you know?
Now, Austin's parents, they divorced in 2010, but they did the best for their kids and they did the best that they could for Austin. Now, Austin went to Suncoast High School, and like I was saying before, he was on the football team and the wrestling team. Now, he then went on to go to Florida State University. When he went to Florida State University, he majored in exercise science. Now, as I was saying before, he loves to work out. He loves sports. So this kid really did have a lot going for himself. Now, he was preparing for his sophomore year at Florida State University. He was majoring in exercise science, and like I said before, he really took his workout serious. He didn't take any extra things like steroids or things like that. He really worked hard. Now, on August 15, 2016, Austin was having dinner at Duffy's. Now, he was having dinner with his dad, his sister, and his dad's girlfriend. Now, the weeks prior to August 15th, his dad reported that Austin was acting very strange. Like he would do little things that just didn't make sense. But his dad really thought that maybe he was just stressing, you know, about going back to school. Or, you know, maybe it was just something normal for a 19-year-old. He didn't think really nothing of it. I mean, you guys, when you're in college, things are very stressful. And maybe he was just going through something. You know, that's what his dad, Wade, thought. But like I was saying, on August 15th, he had dinner with his family. His dad, his dad's girlfriend, and his sister. Now, you guys, what's so crazy is during this dinner, they reported that Austin was acting very strange, like more than normal than he was acting in the last couple of weeks. Now, his dad reported that he was saying strange things like he was Superman and he had superpowers and things like that. He reported that he was drinking tea, but he kept saying that he had superpowers and he was invincible and things like that, but they really didn't pay it no mind. Now, after drinking the tea, his dad is saying that he went to the restroom and then he vanished. Now, moments later, his mom then called his dad. So Austin's mom called Wade and was like, look, Austin's at my house and he's drinking cooking oil out the bottle. So his dad was like, what? Like, bring him back up here to this restaurant. Let's see what's wrong with him. So you guys, first of all, his mom's house is 2 miles away from Duffy's. So he walked 2 miles to his mom's house and started drinking cooking oil. Anyway, so long story short, his mom then brings him back. She brings him back to the restaurant with his dad and, you know, the other family. So the dad then kind of roughs him up and is like, look, Austin, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? He says Austin just storms off and leaves, and he doesn't hear from Austin the rest of the day. Neither does his mom hear from him at all. Now, you guys, when I first heard of this, now, Austin was 19 when this happened. When I first heard this story, the first thing that came to my mind was, if that was my 19-year-old child acting erratically, I don't think I would have allowed my child to walk off. Like, if my child just drank cooking oil, first of all, that's poisonous. If my child just drank cooking oil out of the bottle, I would have been calling the ambulance right then and there to come get him. Like, I'm not really understanding the type of, you know, mind frame. Now, his mom did call authorities to let them know that they hadn't heard from him, like, later on that day. His mom did call authorities and say, look, my son drank cooking oil earlier. We haven't heard from him, seen him, or nothing. Now, when the dispatcher asked, like, hey, he been on drugs, do you know if he did any drugs? His parents are like, no. Now, they're saying that Austin never did drugs. They don't understand what made Austin act like this.
Police Department Lunch Recorded. Is this Chrissy?
Yes, I don't know how to do this. My son, he's kind of taken off, and I'm concerned about his own safety.
How old is he?
Acting a little strange. 19.
Does he live with you?
Yes.
Okay, what do you mean acting strange?
It seems like he's a little delusional, or like he's acting like.
Does he have a history of that or anything?
No, this is just like recent change.
Mm-hmm.
And that we're noticing, and he was out to dinner with his dad today, and he took off, and we're just, you know, he was with his sister, and he says, you know, he feels immortal and like a superhero. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Do you know if he's been taking any drugs or anything like that?
Nothing. I've asked, and nothing recent.
Right.
That I know of.
So did he leave the house, or did he leave from the restaurant? Where's he last seen it?
From the restaurant at Duffy's.
Which Duffy's is that?
By I-95.
In what city, though? We dispatched for 5.
Jupiter, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
You know, he wants to help everybody. He's, headed, well, last seen was going towards Island Way, towards.
So you guys, as the day goes on or whatever, as I was saying, there's no sign of Austin. Now, we later on find out that Austin was literally just roaming around the streets, just walking. Now, he ended up roaming around to Kokomo Lane, and it's about 20 miles north of Palm Beach. Now, he was roaming around Kokomo Lane, and he stumbled upon a house. Now, in this house, it was a man by the name of John Stevens and Michelle Michon. Now, they were a couple, and they lived together, and their friends and neighbors said that they always sat in the garage, you know, listen to music. They just always were in their garage, and I'm like that. I have an inside back porch, which I'm on now, and you guys, I love just sitting on my back porch. So it's really normal that people just sit in their garage and just chill out. So it was being said that John Stevens and Michelle Michon, they were just chilling in their garage, and that's when Austin walked up to the garage. Now, it's being said that Austin then attacked them viciously for no reason. So Austin literally starts viciously beating and stabbing John and his wife, Michelle. Now, what's so crazy is this attack was completely unprovoked. They did nothing wrong. They were just in their garage. Now, it's being said that he stabbed Michelle to death and then turned around and started to stab John. But what's so weird about this, you guys, is Austin started to eat at John's face. And yes, if you want to take a minute and pause this and be like, did she just say eat at his face? Yes, eat at John's face. Now, what's so crazy is the next door neighbor witnessed the entire thing. His name is Jeff Fisher. Now, if I got the name wrong, y'all please just correct me in the comments. Now, Jeff is a neighbor of John and Michelle, and he's saying that he witnessed the whole attack. He's saying he saw Austin walk up and start to attack his neighbors. Now, when he came over to try to help, he ended up kicking Austin in the head. He's saying that when he looked at Austin, it's like he saw Satan himself. He said Austin was growling, he was acting erratically, and that's when Austin attacked Jeff, the neighbor. Austin then jumped on Jeff and stabbed Jeff. Jeff took out running around the house, and he just felt like it was nothing that he could do to save Michelle and John but call the police. So Jeff called the police. He called the police and let the police know what was going on, and this is that 911 call.
Please, and medical.
Medical on the line. Wait, sir.
Don't open that. Don't open that.
Fire rescue, what's your address?
Young man beating up a woman across the street.
Okay, are they outside or in a house?
It's in a garage.
Okay, can you tell if he has any weapons?
I think he had a knife, but I'm not positive.
Okay, can you tell if she's injured or he's injured?
Say again?
Are either of
Then ran to the side of the house and called 911 because he realized, dang, I've been stabbed as well. So Austin had stabbed Jeff, the neighbor. So Jeff was bleeding out, and he felt like there was nothing he could do to help Michelle and John. So he waited around the side of the house, you guys, in fear, just literally scared. And I can't imagine, because if it was somebody doing that, and how would you react if somebody literally was biting off your neighbor's face? So you guys, when police arrived on the scene, Austin was still on top of John, just gnawing away at his face. They said he had a piece of his flesh in his mouth when they arrived. So officers started to tase Austin, but you guys, they're saying that this did not faze Austin. Now remember, I told you guys, Austin played sports. He was a really big guy for a 19-year-old, and that taser didn't affect him at all. Now they ended up putting the K9 on Austin, and that's what eventually got him up off of John and Michelle, but it was too late. They found Michelle dead in the garage, and John did die as well. Now what's so crazy, you guys, is while Austin was trying to get pulled off by the police, they were saying that he was growling, and he was saying things like, I'm killing people, I'm eating people, you guys just kill me, like he was screaming to the police, could you please kill me, I'm eating people. Y'all, that speaks volumes, because police did find a way to get him off of them without having to kill Austin, but just that situation alone speaks volumes, because it shows you that police does not have to use deadly force in every situation. Because just think about, if you're a police officer and you pull up to a woman's stab, he still has his weapon in his hand as he's gnawing away at this man's face, and you guys still find a way to arrest him without killing him. Now, so after all of this happened, he has to get rushed to the emergency room, because remember, he drunk a whole bottle of cooking oil. So that's why he was growling. We later find out that his whole intestines were burned. He was literally dying. So the growling and stuff, it seemed like he was growling because he was eating somebody's face, but at the end of the day, he was growling because his stomach was burning from the inside. Now, you guys, this case really shocks me, because his parents, well, I'm not gonna say both parents, but Wade. Now Wade did an interview on the Dr. Phil show right after this happened, and Wade basically was just saying that he doesn't think that his son was in his right mind. And you guys, the reason why he's saying that is because they didn't find any drugs in his system. People were saying he was on Flocka, because as you know, Flocka was really big in Florida at a point of time. Now people were saying he was on Flocka, and it turns out he wasn't. And if you guys don't know what Flocka is, it's like a synthetic drug, and it makes you hallucinate and act crazy. If you can YouTube Flocka, you will see like videos of people just acting erratically.
Out there. Almost movie-like.
No movie, but a true horror. A husband and wife dead, a neighbor seriously injured, and the man behind it all, someone he's been sitting in class with since the 9th grade.
Obviously, it's not every day that, you know, one of the people you know, like, eats somebody and commits a double homicide.
Joseph attended Suncoast High and then FSU with Austin Harrouff. He says Harrouff was once a shy high school freshman.
Early on in high school, very quiet kid, maybe a little bit socially lacking.
But Joseph says he saw the change as Harrouff got involved in sports and his popularity grew.
As he shifted and met kind of different types of people, maybe he wasn't prepared to handle that type of attention. I think freshman Austin wouldn't have done it.
Everybody thought that he was on this drug called Flocka, because around this time a drug called Flocka was like going around in Florida really, really bad. Like all these videos were surfacing of people on Flocka running around the streets naked. It was just like a really bad drug. So people were saying that he was on Flocka and bath salts, and that's what made him shoot at the man's face. But authorities are saying they didn't find any drugs in his system. Now, you guys, I want you to comment and let me know down below. Somebody was saying that you can't test for Flocka and bath salts. I don't know. But let me know down in the comments, is it possible to do a drug test for bath salts? Like, if it isn't, then maybe he was on bath salts. But when I did my research on it, it was saying that you can't really test for it. But long story short, he went to the hospital right after the attack because he had drinking a whole bottle of oil. Now, not only that, they're saying that he drank something poisonous in the garage of Michelle and John, but they can't really say what it is. And after this, he was put into a coma, you guys. Whatever he drank put him into a coma. He was in a coma from August all the way until October of 2016. Now, once he got out of this coma, he was charged with 2 counts of murder for Michelle and John and a count of attempted murder for stabbing Jeff Fisher. They then transferred him to St. Mary's Hospital, where they did an evaluation. And you guys, after he went to jail for his crime, they then found out that he was insane. They're saying that he wasn't even competent to stand trial. They're saying that they think that he had a psychotic episode. Now, the reason why they're thinking that this was a psychotic episode is because the weeks leading up to this, his father is saying that he acted very, very, very strange. Then all of a sudden, it's like he just snapped and just snapped. Now, as parents, I understand that Wade and Mina, they did the best they could. But I honestly feel like in my heart, they should have stopped him at their restaurant and took him somewhere to get help right then and there. I get it, he's 19. But as a parent, you have the instinct. You understand what I'm saying? Like when one of my kids is going through something, or when one of my kids is not feeling their best, I have that instinct like, okay, look, I'm gonna keep an eye out on you because something not right. And even me, I'm 29 years old, and my mama can tell me right now when something's not right or when I'm feeling some type of way. She knows. So I just feel like that right there, his parents could have kind of prevented that. Now, I'm saying he's charged with the murders of John and Michelle and the attempted murder of Jeff. Now, his trial has been reset. It was supposed to start in May of this year. But his lawyers are trying to get a second opinion from a psychologist in order to prove his insanity case. Now, you guys, whenever you prove the insanity, I mean, it's kind of hard because he wandered around for hours before the attack. So, I mean, in all honesty, I don't know if it was premeditated. It's like I can't really say because I know mental illness is a disease and I know it's real. But it's like at the same time, I'm trying to piece together what was going on in his head when he did this. And I'm trying to piece together why when he drank the canola oil, why didn't his parents instantly say, okay, hold on, something's not right. You understand what I'm saying? Like the case is really gruesome and really just, he bit off somebody's face. Not only did he stab these people, he had no idea who they were. He bit off this man's face. Like, I right there do think that's insane. Like regardless of if he was on drugs or not, that was insane. Now, as I was saying, the trial was delayed again. So we don't know when the next trial will be. They're trying to get, like I said, psychologists in there to see if he's really insane. They're just trying to prove their case. And I understand that if he needs to get help, he needs to get help. But if he had an episode to the point where he bit off somebody's face, you guys, I don't know if he needs to be in society. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me with that. But the fact that he ran across this random couple and bit off their face, and when somebody tried to help, he then stabbed this person and tried to kill them. Like, I just don't know. Now, as I was saying, Wade, which was the dad, he did interviews with Dr. Phil, and he was just basically saying that his family would never be the same. Now, for me, I feel like Wade was very, very, very selfish in this situation. I feel like when he should have been there for his child and taken his child somewhere to get psychological help, he didn't do it. But then after the incident and the child is in jail, now it's almost like he's blaming the victims. Now, jailhouse conversations have been released, and Wade was basically in these jailhouse conversations telling Austin that you're not to blame for this, Austin. I think that you were trying to get in their car and they provoked you, and I'm looking like, is he serious?
There are the calls with Austin's father, Wade. Austin telling his dad he wants the truth to come out.
I don't see why you want the truth out. I mean, the truth is pretty gruesome, isn't it?
Wade HARROUFF says he's glad Austin wants to tell his side of the story, and at one point seems to blame victims John Stevens and Michelle Mishkan with what transpired.
I think the reason why is they had something to do with why it happened, right? Not just you. They had something to do with why it happened, right?
I was trying to flee out of danger. That's all I can say.
Jailhouse conversations that he was having on the phone, you know, I don't know if they know they were being recorded, but a couple of times when Wade called Austin would be like, I can't talk about this. Like, my lawyer's saying I can't talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like he kept having to remind his dad, like, look, Dad, we're being recorded. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you want to prove insanity, you can't sit there and say, oh, I'm being recorded. I'm smart enough, I'm capable enough to understand that I'm not supposed to talk about things on the phone, but the day of the murders I was insane. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like they're trying to prove something that's very, very hard to prove. Now, as I was saying, his dad is basically feeling like it really wasn't his fault. He had an episode, and he might have had an episode, but at the end of the day, he has to take responsibility for his actions. He might need to be in a mental institution for a while until he figures out, you know, how to live with whatever mental incapabilities that he has. Now, you guys, another thing about this is Austin did an interview with Dr. Phil. I think he did it from his hospital bed. Now, in this interview with Dr. Phil, everybody was really, really upset, including Jeff Fisher, because Jeff Fisher was like, why is he doing interviews? Like, what's going on? He's supposed to be incapable, incompetent, and all this, but he's turning around doing Dr. Phil interviews. Now, when these Dr. Phil interviews were leaked, which you guys know I can't put it into my video because Dr. Phil copyrights, but once these Dr. Phil interviews were leaked, it was just crazy that what the things that Austin was saying. He was like, I didn't mean to. He was like, Dr. Phil said, well, if you could say anything to your victim's family. Austin then said, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, it wasn't like I did a very, very bad thing. It was almost like I'm going to try to make myself look like the victim, and I'm going to try to make it seem like I didn't have control over the things that I was doing in order to get sympathy. Now, Austin's lawyer then tried to go to court and have all of these videos removed, and they wanted all of the tapes from Dr. Phil. His lawyer is saying that Dr. Phil and them edited the tapes, and that Austin didn't say some of the things that he said, or they took some of the things out of context. But you guys, go watch that interview. If I can find, because they have a part of the interview that Dr. Phil sent over. Like, they have some of the tapes, and it doesn't have Dr. Phil in it. So if I can put that on here, I'm going to try. But you guys, as of right now, the case is at a standstill. They're trying to figure out, like I said, the psychological part of the case. This is a really, really tough one. But you guys, it's scary. Just imagine being at home, chilling in your garage, and somebody walks up and just viciously attacks you and starts to bite off your face. Like, I couldn't imagine. But as I was saying, the case is still ongoing, you guys, and it's been literally 4 years later. I honestly don't think that they're gonna put him in prison. That's just how the system is. I think they're gonna try to find a way around it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they're gonna try to say he was insane, which I do think he has mental issues, but that doesn't change the fact that he bit off somebody's face. All right, so you guys, this is all that I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoy your Halloween, and you guys, please stay safe. If you go door to door, make sure you have your mask on, and please make sure your parents inspect all of your candy. If you're a kid watching this, and parents, You guys, please don't let your kids go trick-or-treating alone. I've seen so many cases where kids go missing. What I usually do is I get in the car and we drive around from house to house, and that's how we're going to do it tonight. So you guys, please just stay safe out there. And that's all I have for you guys today. Bye.